Today, I'm going to give you a long-term update on Aquaphalt. What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda. I'm out here on my driveway, at the corner of the driveway, and I want to talk about Aquaphalt. Aquaphalt, it's a asphalt that is water activated. And this corner of the driveway, which doesn't look great, I think has some interesting things to reveal about Aquaphalt. Let me show you. All right, so this is a very long-term update. 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 years since I redid this corner of my driveway with Aquaphalt. And I'm trying to enunciate it very distinctly because it's kind of a funny name, but I like the name and it kind of feels nice to say. But Aquaphalt is an asphalt which is meant for filling potholes with really defined edges and really deep. You want to put 2 or 3 inches down there. And in my video, I said I was not using it properly. Here is why I'm making this video, and that's because I actually don't know if it's going to work on this in particular, and that's why I bought 1 can of it. It's an experiment. And it wasn't because I didn't know how to properly use it. It's because I didn't have an ideal use case for it, but I wanted to see if it would work on my driveway. And as you can see, this driveway looks a little suspect, but I actually think there are some interesting secrets that have been revealed by it. First of all, my driveway here is pretty old. It's okay shape. I try to maintain it, but I have not touched it for 4 years, including this section right here. And what I want to tell you is that 4 years ago, almost to the month, this corner of the driveway, so I want to show you here. So you drive into the driveway. When I'm driving out, I pass over this corner. I pass on this corner coming in, and this corner of the driveway gets destroyed. And it was terrible. And I might try to roll in some B-roll of what that driveway looked like before I was doing the Aquaphalt. I'm telling you, it wasn't like alligatoring and cracking and splitting. It was just crumbled. It was basically dirt with like asphalt scatterings in it. It was just like dust. I mean, it almost looked like there was some asphalt there, but if you just stepped on it, you could tell that it was just little pieces and they weren't connected to anything. And it was sunk down a little bit, but honestly, it probably wasn't sunk down enough. I mean, part of me was thinking of trying to take a shovel or a spade and just take out all the asphalt from this corner and redo it with the Aquaphalt. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's gonna be such a huge piece of work. And I'm not sure where I'm gonna put it. And I'm not sure how far down I'm gonna go. Anyway, what I thought I would do is just take some of the Aquaphalt and lay it on top. And I probably put maybe an inch, maybe about an inch of Aquaphalt on top of the broken asphalt as it was. And then I seal coated over it. I used a little of the crack filler on top of that to kind of feather it in. You can actually see right where it's, meeting the non-repaired asphalt. It's basically right here. I can kind of see that now, although that's always been a little visible, but now it's a little more visible than ever, right? But you can see it's alligatoring here again, and I'm not surprised. One, because it doesn't have a secure base, a really good foundation to adhere to. But secondly, because of how much abuse this gets. Let me take you over to this corner of the driveway. I do pull out of the corner of this driveway sometimes, but I'd say maybe 1 out of every 50 times to go this way down the street. But the main road is this way, right? So I'm getting a little bit of that cracking there too. And just because it's the corner, as the ground settles and the earth erodes, that kind of rolls off. So each of these, even if I never drove on it, would have a little bit of erosion and deterioration. But this is the part that gets really bad. And I want to show you here that we have some pretty big alligatoring pieces here, but they are generally bigger than my hand. Those cracks there are still pretty obvious, but they actually go down maybe 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 an inch, but they're not actually going down all the way to the bottom. And what I'm actually impressed with here is how well it's held together. In fact, some of these are quite a bit larger than my hand. And I'm actually really impressed with how well Aquaphalt did this repair, given that it's not what it's designed for, right? It's designed to fill a big hole and kind of create a puck of asphalt. And this was kind of a thin coat of asphalt on top of there. So if you are looking to use Aquaphalt for a repair other than what it's intended for, I'm not guaranteeing the results. I'm sure Aquaphalt wouldn't guarantee the results either, but I'm just really impressed with what it did. Honestly, I would give them 2 thumbs up if 1 thumb wasn't holding the camera here, because this is really impressive. 4 years, hot summers. It's 92 degrees right now. It is blazing hot, which is why I'm out here doing the driveway so that everything cures. But it is also really cold winters. We got Arctic blasts, negative 20 degrees. I had in the last 3 years, so 1 year I did all my own snow blowing, but the last 3 years I did plow service. So they actually came and plowed. And so I had big trucks coming in here doing a quick pass. They weren't super careful. I've had big Amazon trucks, UPS trucks in the driveway here too. So everything takes a beating. So all of that causes a beating right here. So I'm actually really impressed because all I'm going to do now on this 4-year anniversary is really use some crack filler to kind of fill in some of the low spots. And then I'm just going to seal coat over it. So I really expected, you know, hey, maybe it's not going to work. A year later, the following summer, I'm going to have to peel it up anyway or have an asphalt company come in and rip it up and actually do a professional job on that. But for whatever the 2 buckets or 3 buckets of Aquaphalt that I used, I think they're like, I don't know that they're cheap, maybe 60, 70, 80 bucks a bucket. You know, I did this in an afternoon with a hand tamper and then some seal coat and crack filler, and I'm loving it. So, hey, if you are looking for a long-term Aquaphalt update, I would definitely give it a seal approval. They didn't provide anything. I paid for all that out of pocket, and I'm really impressed. I would definitely do it again. So, if you want to pick up Aquaphalt, I will put a link to it in the description below. Peter von Panda, out.